Beautiful. Awesome. We're on. Ladies and gentlemen, well, mostly gentlemen, fathers listening. This is Real Dad Movement Podcast. Welcome. My name's Al, but you probably already know that. I've got Mike with me today. Sir, welcome. Mike's been a member of RDM for, let's say, 9 months?
Yeah, about 9 months, yeah.
About 9 months now. And those listening, not watching, Mike is joining me in the office here, RDM headquarters. We had one training session. No, a couple of training sessions ago. I guess a couple of catch-ups and whatnot. But, mate, welcome to the show. The first thing I actually want to ask, just touching on that and saying that, what's it like being part of an online program as opposed to just going and getting someone to do PT with you every day?
Oh, man, it's really good. Like, I love the contact. That's been really good. Rather than someone, going out and flogging him all the time on the personal training. It's been unreal.
It's really interesting because when I look at a story inside of my head, a lot of the times before, I used to laugh at online coaches and whatnot, but I can see why I did, man, because a lot of people out there, even if you've got abs and 50,000 followers, they do sweet fuck all when it comes actually to delivering a program properly. But what we do, it's not about, like you said, flogging or raising your heart rate 10 beats a minute. Some people might get a bit confused with the online format or using technology. I mean, we are in 2020, but how have you found this compared to, say, if someone did go and do training in terms of the different facets of what we do?
I think it's just because it covers everything, like nutrition and mentally, and also the training. Everyone helps you out with that. But it's just the complete package. Instead of going out with a personal trainer and like doing a few sessions, and like RDM follows you the whole way through.
That's the difference. And we'll dive into Mike's life. There's just something interesting I just wanted to touch on with online coaching. I even don't like that term, man. Like, I really don't online coach. I've had life coach before, which for me is laughable only because of the standards the industry sets. There's maybe there isn't a tag where we're going, Mike, who knows? But I've brought Mike on today, guys, just to have a real good chat about his story. I love this. We've got several dads now who've been part of our podcast, and Mike, just like the other fathers, man, I'd love to get a bit of insights into yourself, your background, a bit of your story before you become a dad. That's what this is about, real. Like, I don't really give a fuck about celebrities or that sort of stuff at all. Mike is our celebrity. The champion's lost bloody 30 kilos and counting with some tough challenges, man, that have thrown some spanners in the works, as I guess everyone's life, but it's always harder when it hits your kids, man, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
But before we sort of get to that, I guess, and fatherhood, talk to us, mate, about Mike, a bit of background on yourself and where you're from, whatnot.
Okay, man. So I'm 30. I've got 2 kids. I've got a little girl. She is 7 years old, and I've got a son. He's 6. And I started off with RDM, I think, in April, because before that, I just started putting on a whole heap of weight. I was getting really lazy with my meal choices, not exercising enough, working a lot, but not investing anything into myself, and had a bit of a marriage breakdown, and then just got to a point where I jumped on the scales and I was 164 kilos, I think, at the start. And I just had this moment where I'm like, I've got to do something about it. I was out playing with the kids in the park, and I realised when I was playing with my little bloke, I couldn't keep up with him. I was absolutely struggling. That kind of like a light bulb moment kind of hit me, and I jumped on the Facebook, and this just happened to be one of the ads that I'd seen, and for whatever reason, it cut right through to me, and I thought this would be perfect for me. And I jumped on and just got stuck into everything. And with the structure, the routine, the eating properly, the training 3 times a week, using the app, logging in to do all the forms and everything like that, so people were always checking where I was up to. I just started losing a whole heap of weight.
Just before we continue that, and it's awesome that you share that, mate. But I'm curious, man. It's not to relive things in the past, but how did it make you feel knowing you couldn't keep up with the young bloke?
Oh, mate, absolutely devastating. Like, just almost to the point of being in tears when I was at that park. It just hit me at that time. thinking, I should be a whole lot better than what I am, you know. Extremely disappointed with myself, and just a terrible feeling, you know.
I wonder if a lot of people have that feeling that they either don't admit or maybe they're oblivious to it. Who knows, man?
Yeah.
But what led to that stage, though, Mike? I'm curious. Before we dive into where we are now, and obviously what lays ahead, because you've done some awesome things, man. Like, what led to that? Was it fatherhood? Like, what were you like before you became a dad? And what was the catalyst or the thing that you felt started to bring you unstuck?
I think I've always been pretty big kind of guy. But yeah, then I got the kids, and I think it was more like financially driven, that I wanted to work all the time and, provide for the kids and make money, but I wasn't providing in the other ways like a dad should, you know.
Common trap, man.
Yeah.
A lot of fathers self-guilty. It's very easy to fall into that. It's because it's hard work, but it's also, it is simple, isn't it? Because like, if I just do all this, then I'm providing for the family. Here we go. He's more money. I'm doing my job.
Exactly.
Sort of thing. Not to cast anyone with that tag or paint anyone with that brush, but I felt that for sure. What do you do for work?
I'm a butcher. Yeah.
What's it called again? Well, actually, we'll give them a shout out. I actually got my meat from this butcher as well because they do the good stuff. But it's in Hornsby, isn't it?
Yeah, it's Tender Gourmet Butchery in Hornsby, guys.
That's right. It's because Mike lives up here on the coast near me, but he does the deliveries for us on Fridays every few weeks. But it's good quality. But that's important, and that's something that I guess I wouldn't mind peppering around as well in your experience on food. And how that plays a role with yourself, with your energy, and what you've done since you started to make the shift.
Yeah, just I used to eat a lot of takeaway, a lot of fast, a lot of easy things. But just since I've been working on the nutrition, getting like nice, good quality, especially with the meat, good quality cuts, nice lean protein, and it's been working really well.
It's crazy, man, because I thought it's and this isn't a plug for meat. If you're a vegan, good on you. It's really funny because for me, I didn't think there was much of a difference until I started having grass-fed meat and proper cuts and whatnot. And worlds apart from regular like Coles or Woolies or whatnot.
Oh yeah, definitely. There's a few ways you can go in butchery. You can get everything nice and cheap and be a wholesaler and just like flog the stuff out. But at our shop, we want the best of the best. So we pay the price for it, and we make really nice things. We absolutely love what we're doing. We just won a big competition for sausages. We've got the best sausages in Sydney. Everything we do, very, very passionate about.
It's a phenomenal shop, man. And the reasons why I'm talking about this and we're spending a minute or two on this is flowing into, I guess, the next piece with RDM. But you had the realization at the park.
Mm-hmm.
You saw my ad. You told me if I didn't cut through with that message, or if we were $5 a week, I don't know. What would you think about it?
No, I wouldn't have done it 100%. See, the thing is, when you like similar ads like yours, you get a whole heap of the same thing with, the way Facebook algorithms work. So all of a sudden you're looking at like your ads, and then another 50 arrive of doing similar, but different ways. And I looked through most of them, but all of the ads that I was looking at just did not cut through to me. Just it was a weird feeling, like watching the ad, and then I went back and started watching some of your videos and thinking, I've got to jump on this now. This is exactly what I need. And it turns out it was.
It's something that I'm curious, because I've obviously never been on the other side.
Yeah.
Like what's going through, this is actually really interesting, man. Like what's going through your head? You see an ad. I know what the process is like on my end, but from your end, and the other dads, it's a phenomenal group we've got here, man. And that's what I pride myself on the process. This isn't, we're not looking for cowboys. Things aren't free. I give all the stuff away for free. Go on my YouTube, even adding value to the podcast, take it all. There's way more than that. But what's going through your head when you see this stuff? Because I don't really see many of the other ads. I see other ads for people targeting me and ads about cats for some reason. But
yeah, I think just like really specific, targeting the dads, and it's not a like lose weight quick kind of fast scheme. Do all these things and you'll be happy in a week. It was like a long-term kind of like change in mentally. Because I think in one of the ads you said, all this stuff is available and all this knowledge is available to you. You kind of know what you've got to do. Why aren't you doing it? And that was the moment. It's like, yeah, exactly. I've got to put my hand up and I need help.
What was going through your head when we're on the phone?
I was thinking, yeah, 100%. This is for me. That like kind of conviction the whole way through. And yeah, from the chat, I was a little bit like the ad. You don't know how it's going to go down. But yeah, jumping on the phone, thought you're like no nonsense kind of. This is the way it is. And I thought that's going to be perfect for me for sure.
I remember all our calls. I remember our call.
Yeah.
That's funny. I remember all of them. I remember reading a book called, I think it's called Tribes, actually, by Seth Godin. They talk about only having the capacity to, I think, remember like 150 people closely within reason, which for me is it's a lot more, but combining with the gym and whatnot. But not that I have that issue anymore, mate. But, when I look at that, it's really funny because I actually remember every single phone call, every single father, even the ones who don't come on board, but then they come back later on. And mate, walk us through it. Like, what would have been if we hung up the phone and nothing happened? What would have happened to your life if you didn't change?
I think I would still be doing the same thing. I'd still be in the same pattern. I'd still like try and there were little bits and pieces where I'd lose weight. I'd lose 5 kilos or something like that, and then just mentally, I wouldn't, wouldn't have that conviction. I'd be straight back onto it again. Just eating the loose foods and not doing the exercise and not having any accountability. I think that was like the biggest thing for me was the accountability. Just having someone check up on you and go through it with you. Probably better than that was when we sat down for the meeting at the coffee club around the corner. And the thing I liked the most about it was on all these other weight loss and exercise type things that were popping up on my Facebook. They had a plan. It was like one size fits all. But I remember sitting down and talking to you and saying, well, my traditional day, like it doesn't start like everyone else's. I'm up, 4:30 in the morning every morning, going to work extremely long hours. So you sat down and went through, covered your meals and, okay, you should have this here. This is not going to work for you because you're still at work. This is when you should train. And also around the kids, having the kids as well. So that was good.
It's a funny thing, man, because I look at that and yes, there's some similarities when it comes to human beings and how we, respond to proteins, carbs and fats. But it's like, I don't know, why would you give everyone the same thing? It doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
There's foundations, of course. I mean, what we're doing. And just to be clear with our listeners, it's really awesome to hear like Mike's perspective. I don't need to push RDM or plug it or sell it. I'm definitely never going to sell here. It's very easy, very, very straightforward for me. It's when I want to reach the people, I know how. And then they come to me because they're fair income and genuine and committed, just like the process you went through, Mike. And it's great. Creates an amazing culture and community and saves me time, which is very valuable being a dad. But, man, you've lost 30 kilos up to date. And talk us through it, man. How's that change what you do, how you see yourself and what you can do with your kids?
Just the biggest thing is the energy levels and the fitness. It kind of started off that I was just 100% focused on the weight. That's the only goal I had in my head. But the fitness, the energy, being able to run around with them. A couple of weeks ago, I went and did a ninja warrior style obstacle course, and think back and sitting in the coffee club, in April last year, there is no chance that I thought I'd be ever doing anything like that. So that was awesome. But yeah, just mentally as well. Every morning, like I wake up and the first thing I do is jump on the scales because I'm watching all the time. And just everything I'm doing kind of thing.
What goes through your thoughts, like when you're standing there, whether it's brushing your teeth, getting a shower, you look in the mirror and you've come from that man to where you are now, and you're progressing. We'll talk about what's ahead for you, but yeah, man, what goes through your mind?
Oh man, it's a complete you talked about it at the start, like changing your mindset. And to be fair, I didn't really completely understand what that meant. But it is like I wouldn't think about anything when I wake up in the morning and just, put on the shoes and go to work and do what I have to do. But every single morning you wake up now, it's like a routine. You jump on the scales, you have a look at what you need to do for the day, and talk about like winning and stuff like that. And that's what you do. I think about, okay, what am I going to do to get across the line today? And it's every day. It's not like this big end goal thing is the only thing I'm focused on. You break it up into every single day.
It's a great point, man. Like for me, it's what's the alternative? I must win at all costs, and it's got nothing to do when people think of the word win with a tangible result against someone else to get some shitty ass medal in a sport.
Yeah,
it's life, man. That's all you need. There's only one day, isn't it? There's just one day. You just need to win that one day.
Yeah.
You just rinse and repeat. And we had the luxury of catching up in person like we are now. There's a lot of dads that haven't. I mean, we go up and down the coast, which is awesome. Haven't been to Perth yet or Tasmania, but we'll get there, or South Australia. But see the dads there. But it's really interesting when you talk about that point. I'd love to get your thoughts and feedback on like lead and lag indicators or lead and lag measurements. And a lag measurement is something like the weight. So I must be 110 kilos. And that's a lag measurement because when that fact becomes true, it's in the past.
Yeah.
A lead indicator or a lead measurement is looking at, well, what's going to get me to that place, which is what am I doing every single day?
Yeah.
Awesome. I want to get down to 100 kilos out. Great. If you just live there, well, you're just living there. You're not doing anything, right?
Yeah.
Awesome. What do I need to do today? Well, I just need to win my nutrition. If I'm having 2 meals, if I'm fasting, if I'm having 6 meals, whatever I'm doing, coordinated with my day, I do that. I move my body. Very, very similar. Like facts and future. Where am I now? All right, cool. Where am I going today? And in the short and intermediate future.
Yeah.
Nourish the body, move the body. And then how do I make sure I do that consistently, which is the environment and the tribe. And how have you found like being part of something larger than yourself? I mean, it's larger than me. No one person is bigger than RDM, but have you found that having the environment as well instead of just going on your own?
Yeah, that's been a really good part, having just the whole tribe, a whole bunch of guys. The first time I think we went to a training session thing in Newcastle, and I'm thinking, shit, I'm like biggest guy here. I'm 150 odd kilos at that stage. I thought I'm just going to get towed up here. I'm gonna get left behind, So to be honest, I was not looking forward to it, but went down there. Probably some of the best guys that you'll ever meet. All like got different journeys, doing different things. But the encouragement and the guys having a chat and getting you going, it like really lifts you up. And that's how it's been the whole way through. Like if I ever want to know something, or if I can't get to you, I'll reach out to any one of the boys, and they'll post some good stuff up. It's been really good.
It's that energy, isn't it? You touched on that earlier. Like energy is huge, man. And when I look at that, I'm like, plays such a big role. And what have you found to be the hardest thing in actually being a father? Like thinking about like what do you think is the hardest thing? Is it that like trying to have a sustained level of energy for the kids? Or what have you found? Because as dads, we wear so many hats, man. Like fuck, we wear so many hats.
Yeah.
And that definitely isn't taking away from women. This is never about a he and she. It's a case of recognizing what we're focusing on, which is fathers. But what do you think has been the hardest thing in being a dad for the last 7 years?
I think it's kind of like a complete package kind of thing. Like always worried about, you want to be the financial, you want to make sure they're all looked after. And like my daughter's got a few health problems, and that's been kind of really hard when it's taken completely out of your control and you can't do anything about it. And just with raising them as well, just being able to be there and run around with them and get involved in their schoolwork. It's hard. It's extremely hard when you have to be the one working like full time, and to fit all that kind of stuff in the time that you've got. Try and make sure you do enough of everything. You're the one, bringing the money and making sure that's okay, and doing their schoolwork, and running around with them and trying to fit everything into the time.
Which becomes a very quick trap, doesn't it, man? What about Mike?
Yeah, that's it. That's yeah, another thing that it probably said at the start, which I didn't again fully understand at the start about creating space for yourself. Um, because at the start, everything you do is like funneled into your kids. You kind of don't know how to kind of explain it, but you kind of lose your identity a little bit. You're not spending any time on yourself, and I think that's when the weight started to go sky high. And yeah, now I take time out for myself to do things that I really want to do, that I'm passionate about, and yeah, that's been good as well. But recognizing that you need that time out.
Yeah, you do, man, because it gives you the ability to recalibrate who you want to be moving forward, but also knowing, like you said, they are sponges, far out, they're sponges, man. Oh yeah, my girls, they even Lillian, she's like 10 months old at this stage, and I'll come in and she'll look at me and smile. So I just give her a little point. So now, as soon as I come home, she just looks at me and just points at me now. Just does a big point. I was like, man, just pointing's rude, but it's what I'm doing, right? Not do as I say, not as I do. That doesn't really hold much weighting when they copy everything you do.
Yeah.
It's insane, man. But it's really funny. Like I'm all for sharing feelings and opinions. Not that I spend much time with that, mate. I think a lot of time gets wasted and lost when it comes to opinions, which is why I try and work with a lot of facts and data from what we've done, history, universal truths, whatever you call them, absolutes. And I don't know if I said it to you, Mike, but I say it not all the time. The guys in our group get it now, but a lot of the time, fuck, man, you're operating at 30%. You're giving your family 100% of what you're operating at. That's 100 over 30. You're not giving them a true 100%. It's very simple. Like, that's a mathematical. The world seems to forget that, though.
Yeah.
We just eat shit, suck it up, move on, do what you need to, sacrifice, give and give you. It's okay. Well, maybe if you got to 100%, you give them 70%. You don't even give them all of you, and they're still getting double.
Yeah.
It's pretty amazing, mate, when we look at that, which is why what you said earlier, absolutely, creating space for yourself. That's huge, because then you can give more.
Yeah.
But talk to us, man. What's ahead for 2020? Like, what are the plans for this year that we're looking to get on top of the declarations or intentions that you're looking to hit?
Man, I'm with the weight. Like, I want to get down to probably about 110, 115. If I can get that by the end of the year, I'd be very, very happy. And that's where I want to be. And just keep doing the same thing. Keep like the training up, and keeping the nutrition really good. And just keeping that kind of structure that I've got.
And that's the key thing, what you just touched on there, those 3 points, because awesome, we've got that, which what I said before, lag indicators, they're great. Lag measurements, all right, cool. We're going to get Mike down to 110, unreal. That's a moment, right?
Yeah.
A point in time, literally a present moment where you recognize, you'll look down and you'll be like, oh, there's 110. It's like fucking 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Celebrate as long as you want after, but that's just our true north, right? Like you said earlier, that's our true north. That's our compass. It's where we're going. Cool. So what do we need to do? And you can hear it if you're not watching this and see it. Unreal. Mike's got it set, breaking it down, nutrition, training, structure, what he's doing, the group, the tribe. And what's the biggest takeaway that you usually have when you're doing those things for yourself physically, and how it affects you mentally?
And just puts you in a good frame of mind when you're hitting all the goals, and you're doing all the right things. You wake up feeling because you kind of know what you've got to do to make it to that. And when you're doing all those 3 things and doing the same thing, like creating space and things like that, you just wake up and mentally you're pumped. Yeah.
What would you say? It's been awesome having you on, man. And I'll be seeing you Friday for some meat. Good stuff. It's been great having you on, Mike. But if there's, and I'm not suggesting you kind of contact RDM. He'll find a way if it's important to him. But just to help inspire, if there's a father watching this or listening, he's struggling. He may be 110, he may be 170 kilos. Doesn't matter. There's a man out there watching or listening. He doesn't think it's possible. It's impossible. I can't do it. Mike's a special case. The hundreds of dads that Al works with is special case. What would you say to him, mate? Like,
I think, like, for myself, when I was out there and I thought by myself, I can't do it. I need help. So to some of the dads that are out there thinking probably in the same kind of situation, then it's all too hard. If they jump onto the guys with, you know, at RDM, and get involved in the tribe, the culture, you got people supporting you like 100%, then it's absolutely possible. It's absolutely possible to change your mindset, to lift you up, and to get into the training. Every single aspect is you've got help in. You know, like different things with your food, you might not be 100% there. You might struggle with the training things. If you can't do some of the exercises that they've got on the training, then they'll give you something else. It's complete support.
It's really funny, isn't it, mate? I mean, two things I speak about this a lot. Two things that you need. You need to believe in yourself and believe in something you're investing in. That's simple. You know, you don't have to believe in me, but fuck me dead. Like, if you don't believe in yourself, what hope do you have?
Exactly.
You know, and that's the scary part. You know, you do that and you do that properly. Yes, sometimes it takes someone else to believe in you and help you raise your standards, raise up what's possible. But like you said before, when you're left to your own devices, man, it's hard, isn't it? Because you're stuck in the same state of thinking.
Yeah, it's hard to get out of that bubble, and you don't really think there's any kind of option. And yeah, then you just you jump out and put your hand up and say, you know what, I need a bit of a hand. You know, you can get results 100%.
I'll appreciate you jumping on today and joining us, man. It's something I wanted to do with you for a little while now, and the new year got ahead of us, but here we are, mate. And you know, like with yourself, once you hit this marker, not if, but when you hit it. I mean, we have one of our dads who helped fix his back, played with his kids at Christmas time, first time ever.
Yeah.
His kids are like, I think 6, 9, and 12. But I don't know. Do you have any plans? Anything crazy? Anything wild that you want to do with the kids like this year as well? Like something that you are going to do because now you physically can?
I think like probably ties into the creating space kind of thing. I definitely want to take the kids away and go and do a few holidays and things like that. But just to be physically like active with them and be able to run around. It's you know, like we're hitting up the bikes. The kids have got bikes now. We're doing a bit of riding and things that at 164 kilos, there's no way I was jumping on a bike. You know, but now I'm able to strap on a helmet and chase them around and that kind of stuff. So more of that.
Yeah, it's awesome. Have they said anything, or like what's have they given you any feedback or?
Oh yeah, definitely. They notice the difference in because I'm the one doing all the running around and that now, but also because I'm trying to be really careful with the foods that I'm choosing. They'll pick me up in the shops. You know, we'll walk past the soft drink aisle and my little girl will say, no, you can't go in there, Dad. None of that for you.
That's awesome, isn't it? Incredible. They just pick up on it, don't they?
They
it's
do, yeah.
Incredible, man.
And the
nutrition.
The training as well, because I do. I like to do like 3 nights in the gym, and I like to do things at home. I'll have both of them drag out the exercise mat, and little bloke will try and help me out with the weights, and they get into it as well. And it becomes like part of the routine. Like after we have dinner, and the kids are dragging out the mat. Let's go, Dad. Let's do the push-ups. It's awesome.
So good, man. Like Stella in my gym, which I don't own anymore, but she used to love going in there and running around and jumping up on the rings. And it just becomes, obviously I'll keep her in a healthy, fit state with exercise, but it just becomes second nature, doesn't it?
It does,
it's like a standard. It's like a standard. It's what I do.
Yeah.
You know, it's what it is.
We had a little thing at school where they did some exercises because they take time out of their day now to do that. And for Zach, it was just like second nature, my little boy. Said, oh yeah, push-ups. We do that at home. Sit-ups. Yeah, I know how to do that. I thought that's awesome. That's the kind of thing that I want them to be like.
Future pace, mate, 40 years time from now, and you look back on this moment that you've turned everything around. How are you feeling about yourself?
No, I think I'll be pumped. Be stoked. Just needed that moment to kind of put my hand up and ask for help, and did it, and you know, believed in it and got the results.
Absolutely, man. And again, thanks for jumping on today, mate. It's been awesome. Thanks for you guys checking in, whether you're listening or watching this. And there's always going to be something, but there's always a way. You know, that's the thing. I can't stress this enough. Like when it's too late, it's too fucking late. Don't cut yourself, deny yourself before the fact. And the fact is, you're still here, still breathing, still got time. So when you have these moments or these periods of doubt or struggle, you don't believe you can, well, yes, you can. None of us are special, and I mean that in the most respectful way, in the sense that, you know, hard work and having a level of commitment to, just like Mike's story here, to seeing what's possible eventually leads to the reality that you can have. And credit to you for reaching out, man. Like, it takes balls. It's not easy. I'm not saying these things to pump up people to book in a call with me at the end of this podcast. We're sharing truths. It takes balls and courage. It's not easy. It's not easy to go through the process and show us that you're committed as well. But fuck, what an incredible journey so far, though, man. Those that are, we never look back, mate.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Thanks again for jumping on, guys. Hope you enjoyed this. You got some value out of it. Again, if you ever want to touch on anything specific, topics, talks, different frames of mind. I know we said mindset's a funny word, isn't it? It's a buzzword I don't like using, but you're right. It's about the real estate between the ears, Mike. Absolutely. Hit us up. Let us know. Flick us an email, alex@realdadmovement.com.au, or touch base by commenting Facebook, any post, any social media, any platforms that we have. And we'll see you in the next episode. Cheers, guys.
Thanks.
Thanks.